Greetings and welcome to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. It's me, Oberon, with the Emotional Exchanges, and that's for the week of Friday, April 24th, till next Thursday, and that's the 30th, almost through April. So I'm going to start off with a reading or meditation affirmation from the Universal Love Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. Spiritual growth. So this is kind of setting the tone or giving us a card for the collective, as you will. Take heart, for this is a time of great spiritual growth. Powerful changes are taking place within you. It is important that you nurture yourself, spend time in nature, gaze at the stars at night, walk along a sandy beach. You will emerge from this period with a renewed understanding. Pools of knowledge swell from within. And once again, that's the Universal Love Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. All right, so as you may remember, the readings for my emotion exchange have changed, have altered. I no longer do the zodiac readings. I just do a series of questions for either singles, people who are single and maybe seeking a relationship or interested in things that are enjoyable to them, or those who are seeking a relationship, whether they are in some other kind of relationship or not. So they could be singles seeking a relationship. It's fungible. And then those who are settled in their relationship. All right, so we have a series of questions. So we're going to start off with the first one. And by the way, I am using the Modern Love Tarot by Ethany and art by Lucy Morningstar. It's pretty much a veteran of this show. My wife, Banshee, gave it to me, and I really enjoy this deck. Okay, so the first question for singles seeking or settled is, how can I be better at communicating my feelings? And so that's, of course, in reference to what you may be interested that's emotionally pleasurable or enjoyment to you. So it could be a relationship with a person or a thing or situation. So if you're single, it's the Five of Cups. And this may be saying you're better at communicating when you're honest about what has hurt you or what you feel you've lost or what is your stake in a relationship. And, you know, as a single person who may not necessarily be seeking a relationship with a person, this could be about what else you enjoy in life. Are you willing to let certain things pass and accept that they can no longer be? You know, kind of like about the change in the world. You know, sometimes we can't really alter things the way they are, and we have to accept that. So you could be better at communicating your feelings if you're able, you know, to come to terms with that and move on. Now, what if you're seeking a relationship? How can you be better at communicating your feelings? And it's the Tower reversed, and ugh, I don't know. I never like that card when it's reversed. But maybe for somebody who's seeking a relationship, you're better at communicating your feelings when you're able to admit that sometimes you are your worst enemy, and sometimes you don't learn easily from your lessons if you learn at all. And maybe you have to be honest about that with yourself as well, you know, as communicating feelings to another person or a relationship. What if you're settled? And it's the Sun reversed. And of course, we've been talking about the Sun reversed lately. It showed up in our card of the day cards recently. And today, in fact, Friday. And in fact, the Sun reverse says maybe you can be better communicating your feelings if you don't always have to be the brightest star out there. You know, the sun is our star, and sometimes people don't need to shine quite as brightly in order to communicate what's in their heart. All right, so we'll move on to the next question then. And in terms of emotional relationships with people, situations, things, is what you want, is what you seek in a relationship, is that actually available? It's not already involved somewhere else? Just asking, but I pose these questions around the idea about more of an introspection of your own values or your own heart rather than the zodiac qualities determining what is likely to happen or where you may want things to happen. So it's a subtle difference in a way, but it puts the emphasis on you in a different way, I think. All right, so is what you seek available, singles? As the Three of Wands, it says, yes, there's an opportunity for you if you are single and either seeking a relationship, but more likely seeking a relationship with a situation or a thing you enjoy, taking up a new hobby or acquiring something new in your life that's enjoyable. There's an opportunity for that. You need to just be relentless and move towards it. It's right now. You have to do it now. All right, if you are seeking a relationship, is what you seek available? It's the reverse Page of Cups. You may have to meditate on this more, yourself even, because the indication here maybe is that things are not exactly what you see, that maybe there's a pretense going on. Maybe if you felt there was an idea for a relationship, maybe it's not really true, or maybe it's more of your own imagination, and maybe you have to explore that. What if you are settled in your relationship, but you're seeking something else, whatever that is? Is it available? That's another page. It's the Page of Wands. It's upright. Yes, it's very available. You might be actually invited to it. There's some communication that will come that will really kind of nail that, I think, in a way for you, perhaps. All right, so that was that question. And then our final question for all three categories is, how can I set a healthy boundary? And that's whether you are a single person, however you engage with other people or situations, or seeking a relationship, how do you engage your boundaries? How do you set those boundaries? Or settled in your relationship, but you still may have to deal with other kinds of emotional situations where boundaries are necessary to be respected. How do we set our healthy boundaries? Singles. That's the Four of Swords. And it may suggest that you might want to let somebody else take the lead here. You may want to fall back. Maybe now's the time for you to not necessarily be very much a proponent of forward engagements unless necessary. Maybe other people coming to you in terms of any kind of situation, romantic or friendship or business or otherwise, you might want to let them lead. You might want to let them state their intentions and not necessarily reveal everything just yet. All right, seeking a relationship. How do you set your healthy boundaries? It's the reverse Nine of Cups, so you might have to think a little bit more about not always having the most pleasant experience. Like, what can you tolerate in terms of not having everything exactly your way? Sometimes if you want to set a healthy boundary, you might have to consider that you're just not going to be able to get everything you want out of that, or that you won't enjoy that. So you have to come to terms with that when setting this boundary. And if you are settled in your relationship, how will you set that healthy boundary? Oh dear, it sounds like some vigorous cooperation or competition here. It's the Five of Wands. And so this is a little bit of a warning, perhaps, saying that if you're settled in a relationship, there's going to be a power differential in terms of those interconnections, and that has to be sorted out. And you may have to acquiesce, depending on who you are, to the one who really is calling the shots there. How's that for a weasel answer? Sorry about that, but that's what I got. So I have one final question that will be for all the categories: single, seeking, or settled. And that question is, how does each of us try to practice and promote the concept of universal love, unconditional care and love for others in our lives? Setting a better example, modeling behavior, being tolerant. How do we do that with people? And for all of us, it's the reversed Ace of Wands. And maybe we have to take more time with people. Maybe we have to realize that not everything grows at the same rate, and that some things may be harder to bring up, and that we might have to give them more time. We might have to give them more care. We might have to realize that they need a little more nurturing. It's the wands, and it's talking about growing things. It's talking about enterprises and networking and friendships and relationships. So we can express universal love to others, but we have to be patient. We have to understand that, everything grows a little differently. All right, that's Oberon. Peace out. Don't forget to watch Happy Hour. It's back tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's regular time. And then on Sunday morning, it's the Banshees Material Matters at 10 a.m. We're live in the chat room for that one. And later on Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m., it's our live stream. So check that out. All times are Eastern Standard. And we will see you next week. Take care.